Hi everyone, this is Chef Ivory, and today I made a prime rib roast together with creamy mashed potatoes and gravy. All because this is our first year anniversary as husband and wife. Hello, Mr. Boxman. Okay, so I got your favorite steak. And don't forget, if you want to learn how I made this, please watch it till the end. Welcome everyone, and this is the portion where Ivory cooks. The part where I'm supposed to be really good at, diba? Supposed to be adult myself, dapat hindi, diba? So, as you all know, I'm a chef, diba? But higit sa lahat, I'm a housewife right now, and what's special about today is because it's our first year anniversary. So, we love good steak. Near and Mr. Boxman, we share good steak a lot. And grabe, kulang pa sa kanyang 500 grams, 700 grams. Our first steak update, I remember, was when we were in this famous steakhouse in BGC. And nasinat kagad kami. Why? It's because of the price. Because usually it's times 3 of the meats, yung price. No? So from then on, we promised ourselves that we're gonna make our own steaks, and life's never been easier. And cheaper too. Okay, so we're gonna start that. Okay, so special occasion. So we chose a very special meat, and when I mean special, I mean 4.5 kilos of good prime beef. Okay, so this is a prime ribeye. What makes a prime ribeye? Okay, so there's a classification no, in the States by the US. Na yung first class, ang tawag po nila doon is prime. So this is prime. It's because of the marbling, the grading of the meat, the fat cap, etc., etc. The second one will be choice, and then you have the select. So what I have in here is prime cap. So the problem is, actually it's not a problem, maybe for some, but today is a very special day, so I'm allowed to spend. So this will cost around, no, actually supplier price pa to, no? 2,100 per kilo. And when I told you earlier that I have 4.5 kilos of beef in here, you do the math. Okay, so it's okay. You all know that I have a big family to feed. I have 10 people waiting for this steak. So we're gonna start. I'm gonna send this to the again. Yeah. Okay, so this is very important. So we have very good butter. And a lot of people really, alam yun, hindi pa rin ma-differentiate yung margarine sa butter. Butter is really just milk fat, so it's healthier. Margarine is a combination of vegetable oil, etc., etc. So, in order for you to know which one is a good butter, actually, malaman sa price range kagad, diba? And of course, if it comes from a good country. So, I have something here from New Zealand. O, diba? Di mo tayo babaglit ng mga products. So, wala tayong sponsor. Next time na. Diba? Ako pa naman, ang hiling ko mag-mention ng mga product na ito, favorite brand ko. Ay, wala muna. Kailangan natin kumita. Yung, walang plastikan. First pa lang. Makibura to. Ito na pa-orbit gamit ko. Diba? So, we have good butter in here. I have 1 bar. 1 bar is always 1 cup, around 225 grams per bar. And then, we're going to make somewhat a glue, where it will hold or make a crust. No? So, with this butter, I'm gonna add in mustard. So, the mustard is whole grain mustard. So, ito yung may buo-buo pa, di ba? The only problem with mustard is that it has a little bit of acidity onto it. So, pag may acid, may onting asim, no? So, sometimes hindi ganun ka-pleasant. But this one, I like it. Why not? Di ba? It's a very good steak anyway. So, if you just put the butter lang kasi, what's gonna happen is just gonna melt. And then all the things, the wonderful things that you're going to fold inside will just slide over, no? So we need the mustard to hold it in. Ito yung pinaka-toothpaste natin, yung pinaka-toothpaste. So you already have a beautiful color in here, di ba? Pag ginamit nyo yung whole grain mustard, may buo-buong buto, ito yung may magandang crust. If you're gonna use the yellow mustard, I don't prefer it because you're gonna have a very yellow, yung ginagamit sa hotdog, you're gonna have a very yellow sauce afterwards if you're going to use the drippings. So, with this, I'm gonna add things that will contribute to a more beautiful crust. So, I have cracked pepper in here. I rarely use ground pepper. So, cracked again because gusto natin good crust. So, if it's chunky, it's good. I have about 2 tablespoons in here. Diba? So, ito pa lang, alam mo na, wow. nagka-crush siya ng maganda. And then, I have rosemary. So, dried rosemary in here, you can even have thyme if you like. Diba? So, we like earthy herbs and spices in here. And so, I had about 2 tablespoons yan. See, it's coming along good, right? Now, lastly, I'm just gonna add a little bit of garlic. Now, be careful in adding garlic when you're roasting something because most of the time it will just burn, okay? But why do I add garlic now if I know that I'm gonna be cooking my meat for hours? So, I'm just gonna add a garlic. So, eto lang po ang magpe-flavor ng oil or butter, okay? It's gonna flavor the oil. It's not gonna flavor the meat. The purpose of the oil is gonna drip on the meat and that will give us the flavor itself. Pero ito, ayan. Yan talaga. Okay? And then lastly, I have good sea salt or rock salt. Why? Kasi mas maalat po ang iodized salt. At the same time, we're looking after a good crust. And good crust means chunky things. So, you put in here all of the chunky stuff. Chunky cracked pepper, chunky salt, chunky mustard. Dip that and keep that in mind. So, it may seem that I'm adding quite a lot, but remember I have 4.5 kilos of meat. So this almost looks ready. So this is our meat. Diba? Please zoom at that beauty. So you can see what makes it expensive is the marbling. Diba? You can see the white stuff. Diba? And then some recipe will say that you have to remove the fat cap, which is in here. I like maintaining the fat cap because it protects the meat. It keeps the meat juicy. Don't be afraid because, you know, like in hotels, you can just trim it out later once it's cooked. And then what you can do, what you want to do is just put it in sinangag later. Masarap sa yung taba, sa sinangag sa kanin sa umaga. Then you have steak rice now. But it's another thing. Now, what I did was I made crisscross in here, just so later on, I made slits. No, so look, I made deep slits, so this thing comes in and it's gonna go inside the bowl. Now you have to make love. Yan, diba? So you know you have a good rub coming on because see, it's really a very very good rub. So diba? So we already have an even part in here. I'm gonna put it in here. You stop at the top and then you work your way to the bottom because what's gonna happen is it's gonna slide down anyways eventually. So if you put thingies in here, it will just go straight to the bottom of the pan. So be generous on top because what's gonna happen is gonna slide down later. Okay? Might not seem even, but it's good. Okay? Do not forget that you have to put it in almost any visible surface because it's not just insulation, it's the flavor. So you want to have every nook and cranny, even the bone, to have that flavor. Okay? It's so pretty. Diba? Now I'm gonna hide this gorgeousness na. Also, it's very important, do not forget, meat should be thawed out completely. Room temperature. Diyan po tayo nadalas nagkakamaling mga Pilipino. Kapag sabi ko mali, mali talaga. Bakit? Hindi pwedeng pagkato ilagay kagad. Kaya po tayo nahihilaw sunod. No? So pag sabi ko room temperature talaga. No? Halos kasing medyo almost as warm as your body. But that will not be too much. But room temperature is on the temperature. Okay, I think I'm going nowhere. Okay, so as you can see, everything is almost covered. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Diba? You might think that one bar would be too much, but as you can see, diba? Para siya covered with ice cream. All sides, man. All sides. So, na, Ayun na, picture mo ako. So we're now gonna put this in the oven, and then later on, I'm gonna teach you how to cook the perfect meat. Okay? Okay, so while our meat is in the oven, we're gonna start on our side dishes. Bakit with S? Kasi po dalawa. Kasi para si Mr. Baxman. Sabi niya sa akin kanina, pag tinernohan ko daw ito ng kanin yung steak ko, mapakamatay daw siya. Diba? Ayaw niya ng kanin. Who eats steak with rice? Every Filipino does. And you can't say anything because that's what we're going to have later. We're going to have rice. So he's requesting for potatoes and some, good vegetables on the side. So what I have in here is, of course, we have cauliflower. Okay. So I already sliced it and yan. So tinira ko lang po yung florets. So when we're dealing with cauliflower, gusto natin ibabad ko siya sa tubig na may asin para just to make sure that may mga alien tayong makita lulutang pagkatapos, diba? I remember one student asked me, and when you're a teacher, you have to be very, very patient, no? May nagtanong sa akin, actually sa akin, sa kapwa chef ko lang, tanong daw sa kanya, Chef, ano nga pala ulit tawag dun sa may yung sa green na cauliflower? Dai, broccoli yun, broccoli. Okay, so, ito yung off-white, ito yung albino, di ba? Ito yung albino na kapatid ng broccoli natin. So, it's gonna be in here, and then, gagawa lang po tayo ng lalagyan tayo ng kaunting kalabasa. Okay, ayan. So, start na po tayo magpakbet, charot. Joke lang. So, I'm gonna put cherry tomatoes. So, the cherry tomatoes actually will, of course, mapapansin nyo, syempre, later, yan yung unang, mangyari? Unang maluluto. So, but don't be afraid because what's gonna happen is it's gonna act somewhat like a sauce once the juices pops out, and it's gonna be very, very nice. So, it's gonna be very simple because we want the kalabasa to stay sweet as it is. We want the cauliflower to stay as crunchy as it is. But we just want the tomatoes to have its juices popped, and then it will act as a sauce. Okay? So, may kanya-kanya silang purpose. Merong matagal maluto, merong madaling maluto, merong matamis, merong maasim, so meron tayong dimension. And again, when it comes to cooking, we want dimensions, okay? So I'm just gonna put pepper, yan. Gagayahin lang natin kung remember. And again, just to mimic what you already have in the vegetable or what you already have in the steak. Diba? Salt and pepper na. Might seem a lot, but it's not because it's rock salt. And then I'm just gonna add some olive oil. Okay, and then we're just gonna give it a good stir. Parang walang nangyayari. Meron din mamaya kasi pupustahin natin. We're gonna make it toasty, and then later on we're gonna add some of the drippings in here. It smells good. By the way, you know what smells good right now? The beef. The beef smells so good. Actually, my nephew said, "Why does it smell like candy in here?" Because it's the mustard and it's good butter, it's good quality butter. Good quality butter tastes very, very sweet. Okay, now. So you see in some fancy hotels and fancy steak restaurants, they have the roasted garlic, and it's really good. So I like doing this. No, I like doing this, and people really don't know how to do it. The thing is, you just cut like 3/4 at the top. Just expose the cloves, okay? Same in here. Of course, you don't want to cut it from here, otherwise mag-iwalay. You want to cut it from the top. By the way, plug lang natin po yung pinakagwapo kong friend na nagregalo ng aking kutsilyo. Maraming salamat, Doc Eric. Ah! Single yan. Tawa ka dyan, ha? Pag uwi mo, may pasalubong ulit ako sa'yo. Diba? Again, Eric, maraming salamat sa aking kutsilyo. Thank you very much. Okay, so what are we doing in here? We're gonna put this inside in foil. All the garlic in here. And then, again, for as much as possible, you just go. The reason why we're putting it in foil is because we want to seal it. We want it to just steam up and then roast inside. Ito po yung malalasahan, yung bawang hindi sunog. Kundi ang lasa po niya is lasang mani. Then we're gonna add sprigs of thyme. Ayan. Please use rosemary if you have. The problem is, di ba, ang hirap ngayon, quarantine ngayon, wala po tayong ingredients. So, kung ano lang po ang makita natin. And then we're gonna add olive oil. God, oh my God, this looks good. A photo of to, because this itself needs photo of. If you want, you can add chili flakes in here. If you're addicted to something spicy, but I have a family that just likes classic things, so I'm gonna leave it as it is. And then we're gonna make a pocket out of this. So we need the pocket so it will steam up before it actually roasts. So we're gonna make a pocket. And here, and then we're gonna roast it together with a vegetable. Okay? So, ano po yung iba pong gagawin natin? It's mashed potato time. Okay, so our beautiful roast vegetables are in the oven already, underneath the beautiful slab of steak or prime rib. Now we're gonna go and do our mashed potato. So, a lot of people will say, like, iba nakikita nyo, they would put the whole potatoes in and then peel it after. No, I think we're gonna do it the easy way. So I already cut the potatoes in quarters. Ayan, diba? So I soaked it in water, that's why it's still yellow as it is. And then, another thing, people start akala na lagi, kailangan mainit yung tubig. No. Otherwise, you're not cooking an egg in here, okay? So the water should be as cold as the potatoes. Bakit? Para sabay sila maluluto. Otherwise, if your water is already hot, what's gonna happen? The outside will be mushy, but the inside will still be hard and you'll have an uneven potato when you mash it, okay? Also, yeah, that's good. Okay, so also, I already put salt na, a little bit of salt lang. Diba? Bakit? Para may lasa na po siya, hindi naman niya ma-absorb natin. So, water siyang pupunta, diba? So, I'm just gonna let it sit in here, okay, until everything is already fork tender. Okay, so this is already drippings from our prime rib. Lagyan natin siya dito. Be careful lang, onti-ontian lang natin kasi po, marami po siyang salt, so medyo maalat. So it's okay to have those brown bits, and then we're gonna get a little bit of this oil and butter combination. This will act as a roux together with the flour later. It might seem a lot, but it's because we're doing a lot of gravy. Okay? Okay, so now we're gonna do the sauce. So our sauce, we got the drippings from the bottom of the pan. You have the mustard bits, the brown bits, all the juices. And then of course it has a combination of the beef fat that's already melted and of course the butter. So it means that it already has all the good things that are in there. No need to add anything more. Okay, so as you can see in here, ayan na po siya. I'm using a plastic whisk. Okay, so I'm gonna add in the flour. Okay. You know, textbook, no, they're gonna say the definition of roux is actually flour and butter combined. As my students know, everyone that I teach, I always say that I redefine it as fat and flour combined. Why? That way, you'll engrave it at the back of your head. You'll realize that anything pala na fat dripping, any fat, kahit oil lang yan, basta combination siya ng flour at nainitan, it can thicken a sauce and be treated as a roux. Diba na gets nyo? So again, our definition of roux in my world is fat and flour combined. So how do you know it's already okay? Ayan. So if you make a very, very smooth roux in the first place, that the flour is already melted in the butter beautifully, masisigurado ko sa inyo na maganda po yung pagkalapot ng sauce nyo mismo. Okay, so gandahan natin siya. Ayan. So, ayan, okay na siya. Nakita nyo. Dito pa lang, wala ng lumps, of course, except for the bits. Ayan siya. Then, I'm gonna add in the water already. Water lang. If you have plain beef broth, huwag niyo pong gamitan ng bouillon cubes kasi po, masyado na siyang maalat. Maalat siya because may lasa na yung pinaka-bits natin, di ba? Dahil marami siyang salt. Okay? So, we're gonna wait for it to thicken up. Ayan. While we're mixing it, we're actually melting off the brown bits. It's gonna give a very good brown, wonderful color in the end. Okay, so this will take about 3 to 5 minutes. Ayan, so medyo pawis na tayo dahil nag-facial na ako dito kasama ng patatas, no? So, ito na yung ating gravy because it's already thickened up. Ayan. I tasted it and I think it lacks a little bit of something, so I'm gonna add cream. Ayan, just to tone it down a little bit. So this becomes a cream gravy as you can see. Now, there's two options to do this. I gave you the option that I like, but what you can do really is with the dripping, with the drip pans pa, no, pwede mo na lagyan siya ng ating water para mag-dilute na yung pinaka-drippings. But in here, since I kind of like the taste of the drippings, yung medyo may burnt taste, etc. Diba? Kasi medyo upgraded din yung palate ko. Ayoko lang masyado simple. Otherwise, baka mukhang Jollibee gravy. So, I'm gonna leave the bits. But for kids, for people who like their gravy pure, you can strain this after. Or like what I told you earlier, doon pa lang sa drippings, lagyan ng water, yun ay magiging brown broth nyo. Tapos bago nyo siya ilagay sa room. Nagets nyo? Okay, so we already have a very good gravy in here. You can strain it if you like. But me, mukha siyang pang mayaman, mukha siyang pang buffet sa 5-star hotel, di ba? I think that's it. I'm happy with this one. I'm gonna keep this, and then I'm just gonna wait for my potatoes. Okay, so we already have our potatoes taken out. It's still steaming, as you can see. So I removed it into a bowl, and then what I have in here is butter. It may seem a lot, but again, we have a lot of potatoes, and according to the best potato in the world, marami talaga siyang butter. So I hope you're not fat conscious, no? So we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna mix it with some cream. But remember, I already put some salt in my potatoes, and since I'm using salt and butter, it's gonna add flavor into it anyway, so it wouldn't matter. So what I have in here is a ricer. Okay, so hindi po siya potato masher, no? So what happens is your potatoes comes out much fluffier. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit of potatoes in here and just press it. Look at that. Diba? So you can see in here, inside, you have fluffy potatoes floating in melted butter. So I'm gonna finish everything in 5 minutes, and then we'll come back right after this. Okay, so we're already done. Look at our wonderful prime rib in here at all angles. It looks so gorgeous. I'm so proud of my crisscross job in here. It looks like $1 million, like the one you have in a hotel or in a 5-star buffet. That's so good. So I'm gonna take all my vegetable here. I'm telling you, so my cauliflower is still crisped, and as you saw in the video earlier, I let it sit. I let the rib sit on top of this vegetable. That's why some of the drippings that already went to the vegetables. Okay, and so we have the pumpkins. Let's make it pretty. So I'm just gonna give this a wipe on the side. Make sure that our plating is very pretty and then, see what I promised you? This gorgeous roasted garlic. And it's not even brown. It's telling you it will taste nutty and good. Let's put it in here. Set this aside. And then we're gonna add sprigs of fresh herbs. Good. Looks good. Okay, so tapos na siya. Ito na ating masterpiece. So don't forget The way that we did this is we relied on the thermometer. Why? Because you cannot really totally rely on time. Okay. If we follow on our videos, so YouTube instruction, it's because depende rin po yun sa amount ng karne. Especially if you're using maybe select type, or like for example, New Zealand, which is a little bit tougher. So I prefer as a chef that you use a thermometer. It should hit at least 63 degrees. And if you wanted to cook more, we'll just slide it like this sa hotel. Makita natin, medyo red pa siya. And then you have a choice to sear it on the pan, okay? So that's what I did in here. I just make sure that it hits 63 degrees. And if you, since I have a lot of people in the house and they like it as it is, iba, yung mga bata, gusto ko well done. So, sa kanang bahala, okay? So, let's see. Still juicy. Okay. This is the cap. Okay, so it's still pink, and then you have almost well done pork in here. So I'm gonna call now Mr. Waxman to taste it. Is it okay? Hi! Hello! Hindi ko siya pinilit. Tsaka, actually, sa may sample kanya. Okay, so we're gonna give this a try. Okay, so we're gonna try this part. Tell me if it's good enough for our 1-year anniversary. I thought you were gonna give it to me.
Very good.
I thought you were gonna give it to me.
Very good. Very good.
Very good.
You can taste the mustard.
Go ha? Oh, it's there. The flavor's at the end. We taste the meat first. That's the face of a speechless husband. Give me a shake. It's our anniversary. So go upstairs, ready some wine, get dressed, take my lipstick off later. Joke lang. So yeah, so that's it for today because we're gonna be very busy eating this and then eating each other. Charot, joke lang ulit. So let's go back. This is a wholesome show. They're kids. Ivory, shut up. So guys, so that's the progress of Mr. Baxman at the background. Wow, hi, eating each other out. Charot, stop it. Okay, so if you want to subscribe, please don't forget to hit the like button. Do not forget to subscribe again, and then watch out for my new vlogs in the coming weeks. Bye!